In a few weeks, I'm going to be 50 years old, and so I bought myself a really nice birthday present here. I have looked at synthesizers and keyboards over the years, and I think the mistake that I was making, as somebody who knows a lot about music and plays several instruments, is I wasn't looking in the right price range. Now, I was looking at Casios and stuff that you can get at Walmart, and I needed to be looking at things like this professional level Jupiter X synthesizer, which my brother mentioned to me. The listing on Amazon had a great title that actually really appealed to me, which was, yeah, it says, the Roland Jupiter X Professional Iconic Synthesizer with legendary sound and design, featuring Zencore synthesis system, ever expandable, 5 parts built for studio and stage. Legendary sound and design really appeals to me. As someone who sort of fell in love with music in the 80s, I remember that Jupiter 8 sound. And I remember that Jupiter 8 look, and I'm sure I remember playing with them in music stores and stuff, and really just wanting one, but not being able to afford it, of course. So now that I'm a little older and I want to get back into doing stuff with keyboards and pianos, I think this was a good choice. And I'm going to go through sort of an unboxing and beginner impressions of how I feel about this keyboard from the point of view of someone who's not a professional musician, which I haven't seen any reviews so far from that point of view. So keep that in mind. I'm not a professional musician. I'm not a really good player, but I want to get better and I want to have some fun. So let's get into the box and see what this thing is all about. So yeah, it says please open this side. Go for this side first. Has an awful lot of tape on it. And there's a little bit of damage on the box that happened on its way here from Japan, I guess, where it came from. Or possibly Malaysia. It's made in Malaysia. Well, let's see. Yeah, so there is everything. And it looks like, what, you got the keyboard there, and what's in here? Can I get this out? There we go. This is going to be the power cord. There we go. And yeah, really nice here. I was hoping that I would get this. This is a printed version of the owner's manual, which I've already read. I highly recommend reading owner's manuals when you're shopping for things. It's a great way to find out what it's like to own something and get a little idea before you purchase something. But yeah, great. A printed copy of the owner's manual. And I think the only other thing in the box is the keyboard itself. So I'm going to get that out, set it on the stand, and we'll see what it sounds like. You can see why I really liked this keyboard. It is luscious. It's so sexy, and it reminds me so much of the old one. The layout is basically identical. These don't feel cheap, you know? These don't feel like the equalizer on a stereo or something. These feel like nice mixing board sliders. These knobs are maybe a little small, but they do have a nice feel to them. And you can see some of them are larger. Some of the knobs are smaller. But boy, it just has a beautiful look to it. So let's see what happens when you first turn it on. The power switch is actually in the back here. So turn it on, the screen comes on, buttons light up, Oh, that is so sexy. The rainbow colors of the buttons reflect the old colors of the Jupiter 8. Now the Jupiter 8 buttons were like plastic and one color. These are actually RGB LEDs, so I've seen a lot of videos of this thing in action, and you can change the color of these buttons. They're not coming through so good on the video. Like, these buttons are a nice lime green here, kind of cool blue. This display is used when you change a lot of controls. Very handy. I love the classic red LED. I love using those displays in my own projects. Split dual buttons, mono unison, various buttons here. The buttons themselves have a great feel to them, and you can see they change colors. So that one went from kind of a yellow green to red as I push it. And now let's see, the first sound when I turn it on, oh, I get nothing. Do I have any volume? I got nothing. What do I get? Let's see. You have to turn something on.
Any oscillator?
Select one. Alright, well that's not great. I can't get any sound to come out of it right away. So let me check the instructions and we'll see what's going on here. And I'll be back. Okay, I figured out what's going on with this. The speakers were not turned on. I suspected that right away, but in order to turn it on, you got to go into the menu, find this speaker button, and then, what did I do to change this? I said enter, no, move the knob. So if you move the knob number 2, you can change this option. So the options are off, on, and auto. On would be always use the speaker, off is never use the speaker. On is, I think it switches between the headphones and the speaker probably automatically. So I'm actually going to leave it on that because I do intend to use headphones with this. And then I'm just going to exit from the menu and see if it stays that way. Just kind of guessing based on what I know about computers and how they work. So I'm set on, what, you didn't really mess with anything, did you?
I pressed this button because I thought it was maybe in a mode, but I don't think it did anything. I pressed it and then I pressed this again. So
anyway, we are getting
hopefully
sound.
I didn't break it.
Yeah, we are. No, we are getting sound now, and the the beauty of a digital machine is you can always kind of reset everything.
And is the sound coming out here? Is that where the speakers are?
Whoa, that's brutal. Sounds better in there.
Polyphonic, obviously.
I love that sound. That's cool. Now let's see if it's easy to change to something else. I've been watching videos about this, so I kind of know how to do some of this stuff. But let's see, like the scene indicator's lit up here. So I think if I want to try like a Juno sound, I can go like, okay, the 2 button. Yeah, it turns red. Okay, so, but that sent me to scene 01-2, which is another Jupiter sound.
Cloud strings, okay.
That's so pretty. Yeah, I love that. And then let's see, what if I hit the 3 button? Changes me again to scene 01-03. So I'm still in like the Jupiter sounds here. Oh, that's a classic one.
Wow.
Trippy. I think it's also nice to have this. This is a 4-way pitch bender. So you can assign different effects to the different directions.
Okay, so these wheels, this is a spring-loaded one, but you can assign anything to that.
Looks like it's doing the same thing that the pitch bender did in this direction.
Yeah.
And that's doing the same thing as that. Super pretty. It's not what I expected out of that setting, so obviously I need to learn more about this. But yeah, you know, my initial impressions are obviously this is a beautiful looking and beautiful sounding machine. Even though it's digital sound, it's pretty much come to fruition, and I think I personally am not an audiophile. I can't really tell the difference. It sounds great. Another split mode one.
There's a lot of synth in it already.
Some kind of arpeggiation setting.
Ghost Playground.
I'm not sure what's going on here, but
Ghost
okay.
Playground.
Let's see.
It's a scene.
Arpeggiator's on. Let's turn it off.
Right.
That's pretty. I suck at playing piano, but it's not bad. That's so pretty. So from a beginner standpoint, being able to change the sound that easily is really great. You know, from the point of view of someone who understands a little bit about synthesizers and keyboards and plays a lot of instruments, I'm really excited to dig into the more advanced features of it. But holy cow, it's totally fun to just play around with these built-in sounds that you can access easily.
Can you tweak them with the different?
right hand crappy stuff that I learned a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know, and occasionally, yeah, there's a sound like that.
Juiced lead.
That's yeah. What is that? Is that monophonic? It is. Oh, okay, but I can turn that off. There we go.
So wait, it was playing a mono?
It was playing in monophonic mode.
Oh.
So I turned mono off.
Wait, what does that mean? That if you put it in monophonic, it only plays one key at a time?
It can only play one note at a time.
Micro:bit?
Yeah. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
different.
Yep.
Unison mode is a little bit different. In unison mode, you can get a richer sound by applying more oscillators to each note. And it sort of detunes them, a little bit like how a human choir sings. Nobody's ever in perfect tune with the person next to him, and it creates a really beautiful sound. So you turn on unison. Now when I play one note, you can even hear the phasing of the slightly out of tune oscillators there. Let's see, as opposed to oh, you can really hear the difference.
So that's turning on more oscillators, basically?
Yeah.
The unison button?
Yeah, and depending on what model you're emulating, that may be different.
Right.
Right, some models could do that, and some old synthesizers could not do that.
Those buttons are really beautiful. They don't really come across in the video when you pull out.
My brother giving it a try too. What's your piano skill level?
Totally self-taught. I just learned violin, so I know when something sounds good or not.
Right, you got the Suzuki education, didn't you? Nice.
I want it to be louder. This one kind of has like a sustain on it.
Did you throw the filter in? Is that what that was? Yeah, that's sweet. That's a filter change.
It's cool how it kind of grows and then goes. Like,
Yeah, you can hear the higher frequencies coming in.
that's just a piano with like reverb on it.
Alright, now you can mess with these, I think, to get more reverb. Yeah, there you go. You got some distortion. Yeah, you turn the drive up.
Chorus.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's got the distortion on it.
And the chorus effect. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you can also clearly see the velocity effect.
Wow.
When you hit the key harder, you get a nice loud sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on. You turned it off. Man, you put some nice drums behind that. It's club night right here. You know? grab some margaritas. Just start dancing a little bit. Turn up the tempo.
Dude, this thing is the bomb.
That is badass. Alright, overall first impressions. I really like this keyboard. It is so beautiful. The buttons are super sexy. All the controls are great. I think it is awesome. And Rainbow Dash definitely approves. I do have a couple of issues though. One is the Bluetooth setup. I would really love to be able to play this through my Bose Quiet Comfort headphones without being attached to wires. I'm an old person and I don't like wires hanging around. I trip on them, I'm clumsy, and I really don't want to rip the headphone jack out of my keyboard or something, or knock it over. And so not having a wireless headphone setup built in is a little irritating in 2021. But it's not a non-seller because you can get around that problem with adapters and stuff. Now it does have Bluetooth, so don't be mistaken. The Bluetooth on this thing is for MIDI communication. So I can connect it wirelessly to my computer and use a DAW with it, which is great because again, I don't necessarily want to run a cord over to my computer. And being able to connect wirelessly to record various things, that's going to be really nice. The other thing that I kind of didn't like is that the cord in the back here is angled upwards, and that's a little bit funny. I would like to see some way to relieve that. I will probably zip tie it up to the stand or something. But I would like to see the cord maybe coming out of the bottom. Minor complaint. Aside from that, the menu issues and the business where it wouldn't play sound right away was a little bit confusing. And I kind of expect that with something that is on this level. But I was just a little bit thrown off by that, and I've already gotten into trying to edit some sound, and it's really kind of tricky to start with a built-in sound and then edit or even create a totally new sound. It's not obvious how to do that. I can go to an empty sound bank and try to start editing, but there was some sound that was already there. So if I want to play around with like analog synthesis and true crafting of my own sounds, that's obviously an advanced thing to do, and so I'm going to have to learn how to dig through the menus and learn how to do that. As far as setting it up though and just being able to play things right away, absolutely amazing. Me and my brother were both able to play some pretty great sounding things right away without playing around too much with any advanced features. So I think as a beginner and as an older person, I really appreciate that. But I think if you don't want to do advanced stuff, if you don't want to create your own sounds, maybe a $300 Casio would work better for you. So think about that before you spend $2,500 on something that is super sexy and super capable. You know, do you really need that? I don't necessarily know that I need it, but I really wanted it. So I'm really happy with this. Great birthday present for myself. Now I need to get on the stick and start watching some YouTube piano lessons. But I was able to already make some pretty great sounds and some things approximating music. So, very cool, very fun, super sexy. I'll be back with some more videos about this thing probably. Thanks for watching.